Hi everyone, welcome for joining me. Yeah, so I built a base minimal sort of capital vessel CV in this Empyrion game, and have a look over here. It's probably even easier to see. I've kept it at one level, so a few tips. This one I've actually changed a little bit, particularly because I added quite a few guns, which you probably see if I press F5, which will give me my little drone. You can see I put a few guns on top of that thing. Actually, it looks a bit damaged because I did actually shoot it with this one. But there's a reason for that. We'll get back to that one in the future. So, my base game, or my base ship, essentially, if we remove these, because these are the non-essentials. Alright, so with this ship, if I'm taking it into space, obviously I need a block under there. Actually, I should be able to take that out of there. Like, if you consider it, it's basically the extra. That's the extra processing power. So I'll get rid of that for a second. You'll see what we're doing here. All right, so this is the base ship. Now, I'm going to grab that small O2 tank. I'll chuck that there. Alright, and I'll take the computer from there. Alright, so if I just go and chuck, let's say, that small O2, flip it round, so the flat edge is up, like so. That should actually give me an airtight seal, which is probably important, because I've got O2, airtight seal for the unit. Of course, if I wanted to actually get up there, I need a ramp. So when this drops down, I'll actually be able to walk up the ramp into there and actually fly the vessel. But essentially, minimal-wise, you need just the cockpit. So the cockpit in there. You need 6 thrusters. So left, right, forwards, backwards, up, down. You need a generator and a fuel tank. Right, so I end up putting my fuel tank, actually there's the fuel tank there, because with the thrusters and the generator, they also emit radiation. So you don't want to be anywhere near that because you'll be irradiated, getting too close to the working mechanics of the vessel, right? So essentially if I put the fuel tank there, there's my original core. Right, built everything around it and kept it at as one level, so I could go and throw all this on top here. And quite happy to take a while. Strip it out usually, but alright, a second. That was ammo. I'd have to put a box there and a box there. So I could effectively, rather than putting that there, I could have that lay flat there, for instance. I could chuck a small thin wall, leave my thrust going up there, and then let's say I'll chuck my oxygen somewhere. Probably even best to put it in that slot, so let's go. There we go, so I've got my seal there. Chuck a seal on the bottom. Alright, airtight box. And then I'll see my little oxygen back again. And I'll throw that in there. Oh, I can't throw that in there because I have the door on that side. So let's just move the door. The door will be this side now. So again, we've got oxygen. Flip that around. like so. So I've got a seal on this side, and I want my door destroyed. Okay, I'll destroy the door. So we go up here, CV. Here's all the components. Standard automatic door. That's all I need. Number 8. Nice and simple. Flip it around, so I'm hitting the N key on the keyboard to rotate, and delete changes the rotate direction, and left click to place. Right click if it was a modifiable item. So for instance, I got my tool turret there. If I right click, it gives me the list, because there's a little arrow here that indicates there's a list there, different types. And we'll get back to turrets and power ratios, that sort of stuff in another video. I just wanted to show you, there's the minimal CV right there, right? So that's all you need to get yourself flying and in space, right, essentially. So let me just get out of that one. Being that I'm in construction mode, I can get God mode going, so I can just fly up there. Otherwise, build yourself a base. And that's the other thing that I want to mention. Like, when you put down a core, just watch this. I'll try to get out. Oh, put this on a base so I can put actually. Oh, there we go. Right, so let's just say that this is a base. So I build a core. I usually build up pretty high because the AI in this game tends to target the core, being the number one sort of target on your vessel. So if you were to build it as per normal, you would end up with 9 blocks essentially sitting on the ground, right? So you would end up with just come out here for a second, a ship that looks like this, right? So you have a core in the middle, you end up with exactly that. Actually, I can demonstrate exactly that. Just grab a core. Right, here are the blocks. Where are we? Core block, core block, core block. All block. Right, capital ship core. Get rid of those for a second. Okay, core, rightio. So, if you were to drop a capital ship down, you've got your initial blocks. Right, there's my initial blocks. There's the core. This is important because this denotes what is effectively forwards on the vessel. So if you were to forget that that is the case, and that is forwards, then you say, oh, I'll start building out this way, and you start building out this way, and then your vehicle always moves sideways instead of forwards. And that's because the core has a direction, so you want to make sure that you keep note of that. So I usually get rid of the non-essentials and leave that last block there, so I know exactly which way I'm going. But you see the problem. The core is now on the bottom. So, you know, if I was to build a nice great ship and I build it up high and I have lots of guns, that's all great, except if I'm attacking the ground, because essentially the core is on the bottom. So I have to lift the vessel up and then get under the vessel or dig under the vessel and put a core. So what I tend to do is use my base. Alright, let's just drop a base core. So let's even do this. Alright, so base core. Come over to here, because we're in this mode. So this is the base core, for instance. Let's just chuck that there. Right, so base core. Here's my base core. Right, done. That'll drop down. Okay, I'll put it on the ground. Okay, so I built the base. Done. Right, there's a base. And let's just go. You got a whole bunch of area, landing pad. Let's just speed this up a bit. You can grab left click on the item and just pull it out while holding left click, left mouse button, and that will allow you to apply multiple blocks of the same type over a small area. so small. Alright, so let's say you've got your landing pad, rightio, it's a base. What I tend to do is come up 2 or 3. Right, then I'll put my core, I'll try and line it up so it's sitting on top, drop it there. Not too bad, but not perfect either. Right, so that's going to be a problem with the balancing. Let's just chuck in another 3 there just to make sure I got that lined up. And then when that drops, which it will, there it is. Now my core's up high, so I can work with that being at that height. Add more items. Right, I can remove the non-essentials. Right, leave that one. Again, so I know which direction I'm facing. And build from that. So, right, so build my vessel out. As far as vessels go. As long as I now maintain that I know which way is front. This is the front, because I made it look like the front. Yeah, rightio. So, and of course you don't need to use this structure, but this one here is the carbon composite. Right, so mass is only 100 kilos, a volume of 80. That's important when it comes down to weight of the vessel. Right, so obviously that if I had something more like steel blocks here, that's 1 ton. So 10 of these, 1 ton. That's the weight of that one. If we look at trestle blocks, that's still 250. So carbon block is a lot less weight than your steel block. If you go a bit further, you've got a bit tougher blocks. So like a hardened steel block there, 2 ton. Right, so combat steel block, 4 tons. Right, when we get into that one, but yeah, if you want to build it nice and strong, combat steel blocks. But you want to put combat steel blocks like that one, for instance. Let's just chuck that there. Yeah, if you want to protect this, your core, because once the core's taken out, your vessel's dead in the water. Then you could go, alright, I'm going to surround my core with the tough stuff, right? Now it's going to be a problem, so let me just fix that. Another block there from the base up. And I'll need another support, so I'll probably come up here. Again, you can see that, if you look closely there, there's the actual vessel, the capital vessel, is inside that block. That's why I know it's actually part of the base and not part of the vessel. Right, so by doing that, now if I should be able to remove that block, I've got some support going. Right, now, right, I can't fit that in because it's there, something's there, I'm going to block it, so let's get rid of those 2. Right, that's when I give it extra support there. Alright, so now I can get to that and put some protection over that. Alright, actually don't need that one. Alright, so now they have to get through this, which is 2,000 hit points, as opposed to this is 200. So essentially they can take 10 times the hits that this can take, but it weighs a whole bunch more. But that'll protect the core. So if I'm building a vessel for combat, then I would go as far as that goes. Surrounding the core in that. This block here, which is under that one, I'll just get rid of this for a second. Right, that's just a standard steel block. So once you've got your direction sorted, like, yep, I know which way I'm going, I could go, yep, there you go. So now I've got my indication on which way this towards. and it can use that. Yeah, right, didn't fall. That's interesting. Floating base block. So yeah, it's worthwhile putting up some beams, putting a core on top, and then working with that. So that gives you a lot of, you know, ability to actually get around. And in your normal survival game, you won't have this guide mode running around, but you do have F5 for your drone mode. And then in your drone mode, in this case, I've got the multi-tool selected, so I can actually right-click, put the options for the multi-tool, upgrade block. Right, no upgrade exists in the text tree, but that one does. So I've gone from, I need titanium plates. Okay, cool. So I've gone from carbon block to steel block by clicking on it and upgrade. So if I had titanium plates, let's just demonstrate that. Right, titanium plates. Plates will be in here. Steel. There's titanium, yes it is. Right, so I've got titanium plates. Alright, so now that is combat steel block. Alright, now I need those other Statham plates. Let's grab some of those. This one. Upgrade that again. And now look, I've actually got the full hardest block you can get, right? So come back to retrieve blocks and tell me 2000. So combat steel block. Alright. Yeah, check that there. Okay. So you want to build, at least protect that underside of the vessel if you're doing a lot of planet fighting. Front of the vessel if you're of course fighting a lot in space. Or maybe I want to do a combination of both, you know. So yeah, protect the front of your vessel with a bit of the good support structure. Yeah, protect the underside of the vessel. Wrong way. Come across. There we go. Yeah, see, it says, oh, there's a block there I can't cut through. Alright, that's cool. That way, getting attacked from the front, they've got to get through a lot of, you know, combat steel blocks. A lot of hit points there. Underside, combat steel points. This there is a bit of a different story. Okay, I'm getting out of the contact zone. So I'm all the way over there, and my zone's all the way, my drone's all the way over here. There we go, I lost contact with the drone, which happens exactly like that. Alright, so to build this fine vessel, it's pretty simple and looks exactly like that. Because it is just the one level, the one layer, I could utilise this even though it's fallen on the ground. And so I'll do that. Let's get rid of this for a second. Don't even need any extra. Don't need an extra CPU. That was only for the guns. Alright, I need that one. That's me tool. Alright, so what do we need to build this vessel? Well, we need the good components, right? So there's my two components. So what I want? I want a fuel tank. Alright, I could go a larger fuel tank, holds more fuel. Definitely useful, but do I need it? No, not at the moment. Right, so small generator. So you look at the energy output. So energy out is 2.5 thousand PU. So 2,500 PU. Right, and uses 312 CPU. This one's always useful. A detector doesn't use much energy to run. Uses a little bit of CPU, but not too much compared to a lot of turrets, mobile turrets. They can use a lot of CPU. But this is what you're really working with energy in, so energy required to actually utilize the item, and CPU to run the item. So those two are your main two restrictions. Yeah, so you have to consider those. So, okay, so we've got a fuel tank. Done. Small Jenny. That's all I need for this one. Right, so I need thrusters. Let's get some small thrusters. So I need 6 of those. I need a chair. Because how am I going to drive this thing? Right, so fuel, so generator, gives me power for thrusters, and a chair. Right, and I've already got the core, starter core, right, that I need. Actually kick it in. This way I've already got it over there, but that's what I would be using. What other items? Well, I guess the niceties. The next biggest thing would be this, right? So the RCS. And the short version of what this does is it allows you to have faster actions on your vessel. So we'll take this for a spin. So we've got our little vessel here. Let's go F5, my drone, so I can build this up. Alright, so I'm going to put my seat out the front. So what I'm going to do is get rid of that. This is the front. I'm going to put my fuel tank here. And that's by design because the fuel tank itself does not react. I could actually stick my seat on top if I'm not too close to the CPU, but I'll chuck it there. The different versions, I could chuck that sort of one, but it looks like I'm sort of floating. Not a problem though. It's got like, you know, some nice screens. Looks like it's actually pretty interesting. The other one that I had there looked like a motorbike, but it doesn't really matter which one you pick there. They're all pretty similar. Hit points. Not going to play too much into it, like, and weight. Again, not going to play too much into it. So if you go that one, that's like a bit more of a full-on desky thing. But yeah, if you're building like the, I guess, old style Enterprise or whatever, you might use that one. But this one I think looks pretty cool and does the job. All right, so generator. I need that. Best to keep that as possible, so I'll rotate that with the N key again. So if I hit delete, I change the rotation point that it drives on, so I can actually put it like that, so it's flat point against that. And let's have it like that, so I can actually see the rotating bits when it's on from my seat. That might look a bit more cool. Right, so that's cool. Yeah, what else do we need? Oh, thrusters. So we've got fuel, generator, and thrusting. So we want to go up, down, left, right. Alright, so being that this is off center, let's just rotate that so we can go right to left, up to down. Could probably go that's backwards. Left side. Let's make this a little bit. Right side. So left, right, backwards. Forwards. So we're driving on the same aspect there. So forwards versus backwards. Left to right's a little off center, but that'll be fine. So we've got up and down, right? So I can go. Oh well, I'm going to put up and down. Alright, so that's got the thruster facing down. That'll be okay there. And thruster facing up, well. Nothing saying I can't put it on the back there. Alright, so thrust up, thrust down, thrust left, thrust right, thrust forward, thrust backwards. That's essentially your vessel, right? So you don't really need anything else than that. That is bare minimum. Right, so let's just change that over to 9. Let's just jump in this fine vessel. Give it some fuel. Alright, so it's gonna go over to here. Another control panel. Go to fuel and just gonna top them up. I'm gonna come back to the control panel and I'm gonna turn him on. Alright, and I'm gonna F to get back off it. Alright, so we see our thruster's going there in idle mode. Jenny's turning. Thruster. 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 And thruster. And we've got one down there you can't see. But let's just walk into that. That doesn't look very nice, does it? Yes, you can put something over the top of it. It doesn't really affect what it's doing, but yeah, it should. Right, so what we have here is a vessel that can go up, down, left, right, forwards, backwards. Right, pretty quickly too. Right, down. Right, up, down. And a slight tilt because on an angle, but it's a little bit uncontrollable. And that is because we don't have an RCS on this thing. Alright, so we're relying purely on the thrusting. Alright, so we give it a tap, little tap, little tap, little tap the other way. Come on. That doesn't matter. We'll just pull it under. There we go. Land this down. Alright, I'm going to F that, so alright, so I'm off. So I really need something to give this a shake. So yes, that would work, but if you really want this to work properly, you want one of these as well. Right, so movement was pretty hard to deal with. Just give me a another solid edge on this side. Reason being, like actually look at that. There's a gap. So that doesn't really matter because essentially that can't seal. Yep. Alright, so let's bring this up again. I'll make this a bit more aesthetically pleasing, that'll do. Alright. So I can check that out. Okay, so same vessel, include now RCS. If we have a look, and this time we go into devices. Alright, that's our devices listing. I can group them by their groups, have a bit more control. Signal logic we don't need to worry about. CPU usage, our single tier CPU core gives us up to 200,000 there. So that's absolutely plenty for what we're doing right now. If we had guns, then we need to add an extra tier CPU extender, which will give us a bit more control for that ability. But we don't need to worry about that today. Alright, so we're already powered, we've already got fuel. So if I go up now, the control is a lot smoother. Right, if I hit V, I'm actually outside mode. So with the addition of the RCS module, I tend to like to put them closer to being centralized to the vessel. Unless you've got more than one, of course you can put more than one in there. They'll give you even more movement. This gives you a lot of freedom of movement, a lot more control. So that's why that's in my minimal build, is to have that as well. Right, of course, at the moment we can't go into space because we're not airtight. The vessel itself, essentially, I'm breathing the air on the planet, and that's not sealable. So that's not a good spot for this vessel if I want to keep it airtight. So I want to have an airtight module that's connected to my seat on the side of it. That's not going to do it for me, which means I can't take this vessel in space with that there. Fuel tank. Yeah, so that's a problem. I could put a light there, but then I've got to put this here somewhere as well, so extending it out. So I can't do 3 by 3. If I bring that forwards. Rightio, so we will remove this thruster. That's what I'm thinking. Alright, so I can't thrust backwards. Remove RCS. I'm going to put the RCS unit here. Alright, because that's not airtight, I'm going to put a light. Actually, I need to put a thruster. Put a thruster here. That thruster will be facing out, but I think that's going to be a problem because I'm probably too close to that thruster, and that thruster is going to have radiation coming from it, so we'll check that out. So I'll put a light one here, and I'm just going to put that there. Oh yeah, so let that be some light. Now, back to V again. No, it looks like that's not going to be a problem. Right, so forwards, backwards, left, right. Okay, cool. Yeah, that'll work. V, let's land this thing. Alright. Now, to keep the weight down, or I could, yeah, keep the weight down, I could actually go the combat steel blocks, as we know, and just put a little bit of extra protection over me as a pilot, because I suppose I'm pretty easy to shoot, and that would be a problem. I don't want to go carbon. If I go carbon 7, then 5 to go drone. Now, let's have a look at this thing. So, let's just shoot like a panel. You can see that there if I rotate it. If I flatten that, put it down there, boom, like that. That is a airtight seal, which is exactly what we want. Let's do drone. Okay. Go on over here. Go this gas catalyst. Go up a little bit. Hop off. Now I can flip this over and put that down there. Essentially, I've now got a box. How do we get into it? The good question. Can I do this? Right. Kill 2 birds with 1 stone. If I take an automatic door, let's look at the variations of that. Airtight no, airtight no, airtight no. So unfortunately it looks like the ones that are airtight aren't the ones with glass that you can see through. So that would be a problem. Alright, so that means that for flying this vessel, see with the door open. Okay. And now that's airtight. But you think the problems are all sorted out now? No. We have one more thing to think about. What about the oxygen? Okay, let's land this thing. And rotate. And around. Alright. A little bit crooked. A little bit crooked because this there counts as a single block. So you can only see that. Essentially, that block is the same as this block, which is why the vessel landed like that. Right, doesn't have a look, but it does have that. So you can do a cool effect by doing that. If I can get a half block rather than a little panel block, and I throw that up there, right? For instance, put those there. Let's get rid of this thing. Let's put a half panel block there, sealed. Half panel block there. Effect. And this is my first vehicle. There you go, not that one. Right, I'm in. So get that like that for a second. Hop on out. Oh, look at that. Hard to get around those screens, so not a good design. But I wanted to show you this. So half a block, half a block. So you can see the thrusting is coming through the block there. And vessel wise, there we go. So I land up and down. Done. Right, so I land. You get this cool effect. It's like speeder. So you can sort of see under it. But that's actually flat because that's a full-size block. Right, so full-size block comparison. Right, so it's really that, but you can't see that extra bit. Or you could do it a little higher and actually have that like that thinner block, which is this plane. Essentially do it that way. One thing to note is, of course, if I jump on 3 blocks there, you can see this. Come back to my tool. So hit points 200, half block, hit points 150, little thin, hit points 125. So if you want the look, it's not too bad, right? It's you know, 200 there, little thin block, and you still got more than half the hit points. So it's not too bad when you consider it. You could just go like, okay, I want this one here, and I'm going to just put a protective cover over everything. Right, thrusting's still coming out of it. Wonder if covering the light will make a difference. Seems the light's actually coming through that as well. So you can cover the light and give the light. Yeah, there's the light. See the torch effect. So essentially, I've got a bit of carbon protection around my minimal vessel. Okay, when you think about it, it's pretty quick. We can add something else. So we need set oxygen. We don't have oxygen, and we don't have so we need oxygen tank, which we don't have, and we could also use a detector, which will help us detect different objects, places of interest, points of interest. There's a small O2 tank, let's grab that. We don't need the lights anymore, so let's just chuck them over there. And that's the O2 tank, and we're going to go with, where are we? Detector. Right. So I go, alright, let's chuck a oxygen tank against the petrol. Makes sense. Alright. I'm going to say detector, I'm going to say chuck it there. It's going to be very hot detector. It's getting a bit of burnt, but you know, up against one thruster and there you go. Alright, so check that over there, check that over there. Seal it up. Good combat situation. Alright. So now, bottom of the vehicle, vessel, got a carbon protection all around, and I've got the detector now in my hot bar. So with one pressed, I hit the L detector, have a look around, did it hit anything, did it find anything? Oh, found all those, but essentially we already knew those were there. Speed-wise, 59 meters per second. Can't really get too much faster than that, regardless of the thrusters you use when you're on the planet. And I have tried small vehicles and capital vessels. You can, in some cases, do like a little bit of afterburner, get up to maybe about 71 was the maximum I achieved. But yeah, that's temporary and definitely not worth the time and effort. Alright, that is annoying, so we get rid of that cockpit. And switch to I change that to this little seat here. It might be easier to get in and out of. That. Bird chirp in the background. Alright, so out of the thrusters. I'm going to go that far, I may as well. One more thing, take out that door and install the armoured door. Right, so armoured door got a bit more to it. Let's see if we can find one that is airtight, allowed to slip through. Okay, that's better. That one there, interesting. 2 blocks wide, 1 block high, 1 block high, so not really the design we're looking for, but we'll see. Interesting. I wonder how that would look. Could actually cover up like thruster with part of that. Take out that bit. Back to our armoured door. Problem is my viewport's still off the side, so if I look at that there, drone wise. Half a view. Alright, so now I've got a flying brig. I'll change that door again. That doesn't work for me. Take it out. Right or left, I don't really know, I don't think. Oh, it's still going to be the same sort of deal. So, yes, it's armoured, but the view is not going to be amazing. So either way, we're still looking at a vessel you have to fly from the outside camera. B. Right, actually, you can. It's a boat. One of them. Alright, well thank you for watching. I think we've gone through a couple of things there. Well, I was expecting to, but ignore that, at least I can walk outside. Establish that light will come through a block, so you can build something, put lights behind it. Really don't think you're going to do the guns behind it. A block, that shouldn't work, but essentially that will work like that. Give you a very bad looking vehicle, but it's a vehicle that you can start with, so you can build from that and build basically anything. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll do more videos as we go through, and more tips and tricks. What to build, how to build it. Next one I'll build a small or minimal small vehicle, SV. Same sort of deal, like it'll have minimal movements, include an RCS, include the oxygen tank, and it'll be a bit easier because they actually come with a whole bunch of sealed units. So if we actually have a look here, for instance, there's my SV. You can get cockpits which actually are sealed and airtight. Cockpit armoured one there. So a little bit easier to work with as far as that goes. And smaller block size, so the physical block size is about 1/3 of that. But we'll do a comparison and see how we go. Alright, thanks for watching. Be sure to like if you liked the video, and subscribe and hit the bell if when you want to find out more about what's happening, good game deals that are coming out, and more Empyrion tips and tricks. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.